Okay, so I think I first heard about this maybe 3 years ago. I'd always been a little bit ashamed of my flaccid penis size. And when I saw that there was maybe an opportunity to fix it, I did a lot of research and then stopped thinking about it for a while. And then maybe a year later, I was reading an article about it and it kind of came back to mind. And I decided, it was the right time to do it because I think I'd taken a step back to make sure it was the direction I really wanted to go in. And when I looked into it, I mostly wanted to make sure that this was going to address my main concerns. So I came to Los Angeles for a consultation with Dr. Elist, and I was really impressed by his professionalism, his ability to kind of walk me through the process, to show me the different parts of the procedure, seeing the actual implant that would be going in. And I think in this moment, the consultation is to kind of give you a chance to see, is this something you really want to do? And to make sure you kind of have some time to think about it. And I went home and thought about it, and it's an investment in your future. I decided it was the right choice for me. So 6 months later, I came back to Los Angeles for the procedure, and initially I was incredibly nervous, as anyone would be who would be having something done to themselves, especially to their penis. And I spent a week in Los Angeles recovering from it. But I think when I look back, I'm really glad that I did the procedure. I think the aftercare was really top notch from the doctor and his entire team in the office. There's several days of kind of in-person checkups after the procedure to make sure everything's kind of recovering the way it should be. And then then I kind of was ready to kind of go back into the world, and take some time to develop, and they're very clear about that. It's not something that happens overnight. You're training your body to deal with an implant and teach itself how to do it differently than it had naturally with what you were born with. But over time, the progress has been really good, and I've been really pleased with the result. And it solved one of my kind of pain points, so to speak, in terms of being naked and feeling confident in myself. So when I look at, that was my primary kind of thing that I was trying to solve for, I would say that the implant absolutely addressed that, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. Yeah, it's been almost exactly 1 year since I got the implant, and I would say the first 2 months were probably the most challenging, because there's just so much happening in the recovery process, and you can be very hyper conscious around it, and you have to be kind of extra careful initially. When you're kind of getting up and going to bed and moving around during the day. I think there's a lot of moments when I kind of thought about it, and you're kind of nervous. It seems like this very fragile part of you that you need to protect. But I would say, after that, things can continue to kind of improve, and now, I definitely think about it, because when you kind of walk around and you kind of have a different confidence level, you kind of realize that it's there. But definitely not. It's not as doesn't feel as foreign, I guess, is the way I would put it. It starts to feel more and more like your penis, and you handle it as such. But yeah, it's a process, and so now I feel like after 1 year, it's kind of got used to it. I would say I haven't gotten many outright comments on it, except people comment on how thick it is, because it's really girthy. But I would say that's actually the biggest positive for me. I think I had maybe not necessarily comments, but I had kind of implied comments about maybe how small I was when I was soft previously, and now I don't get those comments, so that makes me really happy. People are more impressed when they will see it when it's soft, versus being let's get to work on that. But yeah, no, I would say the biggest compliment is that people don't say anything, I would say, and they just think that this is my dick, and this is something that's normal for them. So I would say that's been a really, really big positive. biggest difference, in my opinion, is that you don't have the number of people who have been exposed to this concept and who have actually had the procedure done is extremely small compared to the number of women who have had, breast reduction, breast implants, whatever you want to do to your body. So, I mean, look, they're both kind of sexual organs in a way, and I think I agree with you. I just think like the knowledge level and the kind of information flow has been really limited because it hasn't kind of become more popularized. I think everyone sort of expects men to just accept their body the way they are. And like, look, if you're too fat, you can go work out, or, if you're, there are other self-improvement things you can do to improve yourself. But, this is a really kind of unique innovation, I would say. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be so taboo, but yeah, for me, I know that I did not. Like a handful of people in the world know that I've had it done, and I wish it was something that we could talk about more openly. And I don't know, maybe not in my lifetime per se, but like I will hope in kind of the next generation that it's something that like people are more and more comfortable with their bodies, and more comfortable with their sexuality. And so I think that you can just look at this as another aspect of that. Like, hey, like this is something that I don't like about myself that I wish I would like to change. And now there is a way to actually address that. When I was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I think maybe like the answer was, well, sorry, you're stuck with it. Like there's nothing you can do. And now I think, Dr. Edlis proved that actually, like you can potentially do something about it. And, it will maybe solve some point of low self-confidence and improve the quality of life. Yeah, I mean, I think like the starting point is to, read through the material and just understand the actual science of the procedure. I think that was the part that I had the most trouble to wrap my head around. Like to say like, okay, what exactly am I doing to like improve my penis? And then after I got past that point, I think then you kind of have to think like, okay, like, it's a big investment. Like, I don't think anyone is ignoring that fact, but, it's like, there's so many things that we spend money on that like really don't bring lasting happiness or lasting confidence. And so, when I look at this, it's been like, okay, like this is something that I'm really glad that I went through with. I don't think maybe like for everyone it will be the right answer to say yes, but I think if you're looking for a way to improve your self-confidence because you're not happy with the size or shape of your penis, then this is definitely something that you can look into to say, this may be an opportunity for me to improve my life and kind of look at fixing something that's bothered me for a long time. So yeah, I would recommend that, you are able to look at the website and have the consultation with Dr. Edlis and his team and to, make sure you have all the information to make the right decision for you.